Welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan DeLugo. Thank you so much for tuning in here on Thursday, February 20th. A little bit of glare coming in through the windows. Never going to have to deal with that again. We're moving here soon. Studio is going to have blinds. How about that, right? But we are dealing with it right now. We are also in the middle of the Jaguars' final round of GM interviews, general manager interviews. They have now interviewed in person John Eric Sullivan of the Green Bay Packers, Josh Williams of San Francisco 49ers, and the big one everyone's talking about, Ian Cunningham of the Chicago Bears. But right now we're here to talk about a draft prospect that the Jaguars met with. I told y'all, we're going to talk about pretty much every prospect that the Jaguars are reported to have met with and have an interview with. They're going to meet with tons of guys that doesn't ever get reported about, right? They're going to meet with so many prospects. That's not to say that they're going to have interest in drafting all of them, right? But maybe they do. Maybe they have interest in them in the draft. Maybe they have interest in them in undrafted free agency. So we're going to talk about the guys to get y'all prepared, right? We are going to talk about the players that the Jaguars are reported to have met with. And Justin Melo met with Kole Taylor, tight end out of West Virginia. Jaguars met with him at the Hula Bowl, among some other teams as well. So these visits at all-star games, again, don't mean a whole lot. 30 visits, I think, mean a little bit more. You definitely want to keep an eye on those 30 visits. All that said, Kole Taylor, tight end, West Virginia, started his career at LSU, was a 3-star recruit, college for 5 years, 3 seasons at LSU, 2 seasons at West Virginia. Went back and watched him a little bit. We're going to talk about that here. He's 6'7" and 255 pounds. In 2024, which was his most productive season, 43 catches, 448 yards, 3 touchdowns for the Mountaineers. So looking at what Liam Cohen and the Jacksonville Jaguars might like about Kole Taylor. He blocks. He blocks inline, blocks as an H-back, blocks in the slot, blocks out wide in bunch formations. He catches screens, short passes behind the line, goes in motion a ton, gets those like little quick hitter tight end dump offs on the move. So he does a lot of things that I think a Liam Cohen offense might be interested in doing here in Jacksonville. Pretty reliable hands. Not like it's not like he's got Stickum out there, but pretty reliable. Not like a huge drop rate. About 7-8% for his career, something like that. He hasn't been put in a ton of situations to make contested catches. He hasn't made a ton of contested catches. So, interesting overall kind of vibe I'm getting from Kole Taylor here. I don't think he's a great blocker on the line. Like, I don't think you want him matched up with somebody like Trayvon Walker or Josh Hines Allen or even, I don't think you want him one-on-one blocking an edge player. But pretty good in space against second and third level guys blocking. And that can help you on a lot of quick game stuff, which I think that you're going to see in the Liam Cohen offense. The Buccaneers were really good at screens last year. I think a guy like Kole Taylor can help you be really good at screens by doing the dirty work. And he can catch some of those himself. He's not like a dynamic athlete with the ball in his hands. He's not super fast, but he has experience doing that stuff. Like I said, not real fast, not real dynamic with the ball in his hands, not great in contested catch situations, not a real bendy route runner. Just not the most impressive tight end prospect out there. Not the strongest dude out there. So the Jags, they could need a tight end. Luke Farrell is a free agent, and he's kind of been a balanced tight end for them, done a lot of the dirty work type of stuff, but also reliable hands, decent athlete. Evan Ingram could be a cut candidate. You look at Evan Ingram's salary cap situation. I believe the Jaguars can save about $6 million if they want to cut Evan Ingram. Yep, $5.9 million. They would have 13.5 in dead money. That's pre-June 1. Post-June 1, they would save over $15 million by moving on. But again, post-June 1 cuts do not help you in the first couple waves of free agency. It only helps you after you've done free agency, after you've done the draft, and you're sitting there in the summer and you're like, oh, maybe there's a veteran we can pick up, right? After June 1. I don't think the Jaguars have any business cutting Evan Ingram. I don't know why you would cut Evan Ingram. He's a really darn good receiving tight end. And maybe you talk about Liam Cohen wanting his tight ends to be blockers. If you don't want Evan Ingram on your team, I'm sorry. I think you make a role for Evan Ingram, even if it's not like traditionally in your wheelhouse. Because he's a mismatch nightmare. So you also have Britton Strange. Josiah DeGuara was on and off the active roster last year. He's a free agent as well. I think the Jaguars are going to want to run a lot of big personnel, heavy personnel. 12, 13, which means you got 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends out there. So, yes, tight end could be a need in the draft. I think with what they have right now, you've got Britton Strange and Evan Ingram. You need at least one more. You probably, if you're running 12 and 13, you want 4 tight ends. So it probably is a position that they're going to address, whether that be cheaply in free agency or in the draft. I do think that they're going to add some tight ends. But I got to be honest, I think Kole Taylor's ceiling is like 7th round, honestly. If I had to predict, I think he's going to be a UDFA. And that's no disrespect to him. Like, he's a pretty good college tight end. Again, he does a lot of the dirty work stuff. Not glamorous, not a big-time athlete, but can he help you in quick game by blocking out in space? Can he help you by having a reliable set of hands you can dump the ball down to on screens, on checkdowns? Yeah, he does. So he could be useful, but I don't think he's going to be anything more than like super late day 3. My best guess is UDFA. This is a deep tight end class. I don't think he's among those guys up there that you're talking about drafting real highly. So Kole Taylor, you got him. Somebody maybe the Jaguars target late day 3, undrafted free agency. We talked about linebacker Chris Paul Jr. from Ole Miss, who the Jaguars have met with. I think he should be a mid to late 2nd round guy. Hopefully the Jags aren't trying to take a linebacker in that range. Hopefully not even on day 2, but who knows. We talked about offensive lineman Jacob Bear out of Arkansas State, who the Jaguars met with. I think he's probably a day 3 guy. I like his game a lot. I would be comfortable with him anytime after the 4th round or after, as a developmental interior player. But as I shared with y'all, I think the Jaguars, offensive line-wise, they have the ability to go address it during free agency in a big way, and I think that they should. So that'll do it here. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. Kole Taylor, West Virginia wide receiver, met with the Jaguars. Not a big-time projection, but it is what it is. Not every prospect is going to be going in the first couple days of the draft or even in the draft at all. That doesn't mean they can't make an NFL roster. That doesn't mean they can't have an impact, a career, right? So again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. You can also check out genjag.com/shop, pick up some new Duval gear like the hat I'm wearing right now. Become a channel member here on YouTube. Y'all have a good one.